normal fun as well as music. Songs singing the dancing with the fish. Head go fish on Thursday nights with AJ. And where I am to me all through the night. What to do here to do? So what about loving me all through the The Mothman sightings and the solar storm still come to Agatha, the secret city underground. Mysterious number stations, planets circle to Project Stargate, and what the Dark Watchers found. We're in a simulation, don't you worry though. The Black Knight satellite is told me so. I can't believe I'm dancing with the fish. Head go fish on Thursday nights with AJ2. And Wi-Fi's on me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth. So the Wi-Fi's on me all through the night. Head go fish on Thursday nights with AJ2. And Wi-Fi's on me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth. So the Wi-Fi's on me all through the because she is a camel, and camels love to dance when the feeling is right on waves in
August 1946. Esteemed U.S. Naval officer and explorer Admiral Richard Byrd, one of the first pilots to fly over both the North and South Poles, organizes Operation High Jump, the largest expedition ever to travel to Antarctica. With 13 ships, 23 aircraft.
This episode of the Y-Files is brought to you by PDS Debt. In September 1989, Doug Muchler reported for duty. He was a counterintelligence officer stationed at Fort Richardson, just outside Anchorage, Alaska. His job was investigating espionage and terrorism, so his first stop was the map room. He needed to get the lay of the land. Doug grew up in Ohio, so learning about the rugged terrain and wilderness of Alaska would take a lot of studying. Alaska is a big place, almost 700,000 square miles, twice the size of Texas. Doug spread out a few maps across the giant table in the center of the room. He scanned the maps. They showed mountain ranges, rivers, lakes, cities, old mining towns, the typical stuff. But then something caught his eye. On a map of Denali National Park, there was an area no bigger than his thumb that was whited out. Doug grabbed a magnifying glass. There were no features. About 60 miles west of Mount McKinley was a small zone labeled, "This area not surveyed to date." Doug thought this was odd. The entire state of Alaska was definitely surveyed, every inch of it. How could this tiny patch be not surveyed? He set the question aside. He was a chief warrant officer in military intelligence. He figured if he needed to know, he'd know. Still, something about that location haunted him. And 3 years later, he'd find out why. Where could he be?
Yeah, human, quick! The safe hidden in your closet. I need the code. It's an emergency!
How did you know I had a safe?
Oh, my sweet summer human. You're as predictable as the jokes in these commercials. Now give me the code, chop chop. I need to borrow some bread.
Some bread?
It means money.
I know what it means. Why do you need the money?
Gertie and I have fallen on hard times.
How? I give you a free house, free food, free car. Oh, by the way, Gertie can't borrow the truck anymore. I don't even know what that stain is.
She can't help it.
That's really too... Look, I said I don't want to know.
Oh, come on. You rub a little club soda on it, it comes right out. Hey, look, if you'll owe me some money, we won't need your truck.
Okay. What's the money for this time?
Gertie and I are starting a new business. Camel Toe. Okay. Here's our commercial. Ready? Is your car broken down? Do you need a tow? Call Camel Toe. We'll hitch you to a hump and camel toe you anywhere you need to go. AARP and AAA memberships not accepted. Other restrictions may apply.
Didn't you already start that rideshare business?
Oh, humped? Yeah, that didn't work out. I kept receiving calls that were, let's just say, salacious.
Salacious?
It means inappropriate.
I know what it... Look, I'm not doing that bit again. Will you just call PDS Debt?
Oh, my! Did you just camel toe your vehicle into today's sponsor?
I sure did. PDS Debt is a top-rated company on Google and have an A+ rating on the BBB. They have options for anyone struggling with a lot of monthly debt payments. Credit cards, personal loans, collections, medical bills. Everyone with over $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies.
Yeah, but my credit score is, well, it's terrible.
Well, there's no minimum credit score required. Bad and fair credit is accepted. You can save thousands in interest and fees and pay off your debt in a fraction of the time. PDS is giving our qualified viewers a free debt analysis just for completing the 30-second online assessment at www.pdsdebt.com/files.
That's pdsdebt.com/files.
That's it.
Okay, I'll call him right now.
Good. So you can stop trying to get into my safe.
Oh, I'm not working on the safe. I got the Beaver Brothers on that. Beavers are master safe crackers. Haven't you ever heard of beaver burglars?
I think you mean cat burglars.
Right. Hey, boys, try the human's cat's birthday. Yeah, see. I told ya. Predictable.
It was late 1992, and Doug Muchler was killing time with a few dozen off-duty soldiers. Someone shushed the group and turned up the TV. The local news was running a story about an underground nuclear detonation in China. It was so powerful that it sent shockwaves in the Earth's crust all the way to Alaska.
Okay, what about YouTube?
But that wasn't the story. When seismologists analyzed the data, they saw the cross-section of a huge object about 100 feet below the surface in central Alaska. About an underground nuclear detonation in China. A huge pyramid, bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. 550 feet tall from the top to the base. The news showed the pyramid's location on a map. Doug wasn't sure, but he could swear it was right in the middle of the location marked, "This area not surveyed to date." He ran to the map room. He was right. Next stop, his quarters. He set his VCR to record the 11 o'clock news. He needed to be sure. The late-night news came and went without a single mention of the pyramid. Doug called a few news junkies he knew. Nobody heard anything about it.
How do I get it on?
The next day, with military intelligence credentials, Doug went to the local news station. The station manager said there was no such story and had no idea what Doug was talking about. Then returned to his office. Doug stood in the lobby for a minute, confused. Not only did he see the news story, but almost 40 other soldiers did too. The station manager's strange behavior made Doug feel that something wasn't right.
Had a Men in Black stop by.
Well, that's what Doug thought. But this visit was off the books. He had no authority here. As Doug was heading out, he heard a voice behind him. It was one of the younger employees. The kid nervously gestured for Doug to come over, so he did.
Okay.
The younger man was clearly rattled. He looked around, lowered his voice, and said the story was true.
Look, I'm not supposed to say anything. I could get fired for this,
I guess
but this just isn't sitting right with me.
Doug acted like he wasn't sure what the kid was talking about, but he was pretty sure what he was talking about.
That story about the underground pyramid is real. We ran it during last night's 6 o'clock broadcast. A few hours later, a couple of scary guys in suits came by the station and grilled my boss in his own office. Next thing I know, the story is pulled from the 11 o'clock lineup, and all the tapes of the story were confiscated. It's all gone.
Doug asked why. Although, again, he knew the answer, he just wanted to hear this kid say it.
After the suits left, the news director said we had to kill the story because it involved a Chinese nuclear test. It was a matter of national security. We were told to forget about it. The nuclear test, the pyramid, all of it. Pretend it never happened or face criminal charges. That's all I know.
The kid begged Doug to keep him out of it, and Doug agreed. Again, as an experienced intelligence officer, Doug knew these tactics. He also knew he shouldn't press the issue with his superiors, so he didn't. But he was annoyed.
I was mad. I went back to the office in formation that night. I told everybody what I'd found out, and the guys in the unit were like, wait a minute, we watched it. What do you mean they didn't run it? Same thing I was saying.
Doug continued his normal duties at Fort Richardson, but he couldn't stop thinking about that pyramid. He was frustrated, but there was no way to get more information. Then, a year later, Doug was transferred to Fort